Hey, hi guys. In this video, I'm going to discuss topic 8, processing materials on page 85, brief introduction, and then we'll look at activity 1. So let's go to our book. Okay, so this paragraph just tells us that in grade 4, you learned that we can manufacture materials from raw materials like sand, clay, coal, oil. Okay. In this topic, we're going to also learn more about raw materials and how they can be processed to create new materials. Okay. The processed materials can have properties that are completely different from the properties of the raw materials they were created from. And the example we're going to be looking at is the ingredients of a cake and then an actual cake. Okay, so in activity 1, we check what we already know about processing materials. Just get this thing to work with me. All right. So, okay. They say we must list the materials. Okay, so there we have some flour, some sugar, some butter or margarine, some eggs, some baking soda, and some milk. Okay, right. Then they say which of them are solid raw materials. Okay, so flour is a powder, so that's a solid. Sugar is a crystal, that's a solid. Okay, butter is a solid. Baking powder isn't solid. Eggs are considered a solid because it is until you break it to let the runny part come out, we consider it to be a solid. Okay, right. Then next they say write down a word. Okay, or write down words to describe each material. This is, for example, if I told you, please go fetch something for me in the kitchen, and you don't know what it is, I'm going to give you a few words to describe it. For example, please go to the kitchen, open the top drawer, and bring me the green and yellow spoon. Okay, so you have to look at the top drawer, that it's a spoon you're looking for, and that it's green and yellow. Okay, so these are kind of like the characteristics. Okay, so if you, for example, had to describe cake flour, you would say it is a white powder. Okay, sugar, white, can be brown crystals. Okay, butter or margarine, usually a yellow substance. Okay, and oily, right? Eggs, round, hard, right? Baking powder, very fine powder, right? So now white fine powder. So now if I sent you to the cupboard and I asked you, please bring me some um, sugar, you know to look for something that is a crystal. If I ask you to bring me some flour, of course you're not bringing me a flour, you're going to bring me the cake flour. Okay. Next, they say describe the properties of the dough when we mix the raw materials together. So once we've mixed all of these things together, can we still see the flour and the sugar and the baking powder and the butter and the eggs and the milk once we've properly mixed it? No, they've all mixed into a new substance, okay, that is runny. Okay, and even though the other things were solid, okay, or there were some solids and there were some liquids, we now have a runny dough. Okay, then in picture B, we processed it. So we combined and mixed the raw materials, and then we processed it. Okay, we placed it into an oven and we let it bake. In an oven, we're heating it up. Okay, so we let it bake for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or depending on the recipe you're using. Okay, and now this finished cake, or even before you've iced it, looks very different from the raw materials you started with, the mixture, the dough mixture that you had and that you put in the oven to bake, and now the cake that you are about to put icing on. Okay, so then we look at picture B. We describe the properties of the cake. Okay, properties is what does it look like? What can we see? What can we use to identify it? Okay, right. So here, okay, a cake is a solid. It's soft and spongy, but it's still a solid. It's not a liquid and it's not a gas, so it's a solid. All right. Okay, what else can you tell me about it? Okay, it has little holes in it. It tastes very nice, sweet perhaps. Okay, It also looks and smells nice. It feels soft. Okay. It has the shape of the pan that you use to bake it in. Okay. And it does not look runny at all like the dough you mixed and you put in the oven. It doesn't look like that at all. So the process of baking it changed the materials, okay, or the ingredients. All right, then here it says, what changes the dough into a cake? What did you do to that dough mixture? You put it in the oven. You applied heat, okay. Which ingredients made the cake rise more than the dough? And there's kind of like the magic ingredient, okay, and that is our baking powder. Right, and later you will learn about the cool processes that take place and the chemical reactions that take place that give off bubbles of air that makes it nice and spongy, okay? But your baking, not baking soda, that is the magic stuff. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to you guys. Please ask me if there are any questions. Bye.